That was amazing, guys.
Well, thank you.
I'm
You
just
okay?
like, I'm torn between trying to like tell people they need to listen right now to like listening right now, and it's really difficult for me. But that was incredible. I'm a huge fan. And what was the title of that one again?
That's called Way Down.
Way Down. And did you write that one?
Steve and I wrote that. We were just talking about that earlier today in his living room over on Quadrant Avenue.
Yeah,
Not
quite too far.
Yeah.
And now that we know where you live.
Well, hey, disclaimer, that was his old house.
Okay.
I wouldn't throw that out there.
Never mind.
His old house, yeah.
So what's your writing style? Do you guys all write, or do you usually just kind of jam together?
Honestly, it's kind of progressed. With that first album, Steve and I first playing together, it kind of was, it was never forced, but it was definitely primarily on acoustic. He and I pretty much just like that, and then brought what I would say, 75% completed songs to our rhythm section, who fleshed it out pretty easily. But man, I mean, we started, our inception was probably January of 11, and by June of 11, we had 13 songs to record. So it just kind of, I think we both were just waiting to just get everything that was inside of us out.
Right.
Both not being in a musical project for about 2 years for me. I don't know about same for you.
It was definitely pretty spontaneous from the get-go. You always talk about that chemistry.
Yeah.
Definitely had it. I remember the very first time because we had a drummer initially for about a year. That's what we recorded the first album with, and that song that we actually just played. But very first time we played with Graham, I remember we went from a verse to a chorus on a song that we've been playing, and he nailed it instantly. And that's just how music is. It's chemistry. You can't really quantify.
No, not at all. But anymore, it's interesting because with full-time jobs and a family life, whatnot, we get together probably once, twice, maybe 3 times a month. But it's funny, we'll be, okay, we need to get together, practice for a show, we need to rehearse, and then we'll end up writing a song. Like, we weren't supposed to do this.
But you have to.
That's how organic it is, and we're not picky, and maybe that's not the greatest thing. We probably could perfect our music a little bit more, but if it sounds good to us, that's pretty much all we care about right now.
It seems to be working. Yeah,
well,
seems to be working out for you guys. You've had the opportunity really here recently to play with a lot of other local bands. I was just checking out your Facebook. You played Hard Rock Cafe most recently. You played New Vintage with Joanne and the Dakota.
That's a very fun show.
What do you think about just the Louisville music scene in general, and how I guess how close knit of a community all the local musicians are?
It absolutely is. I would live in no other city and play music. I've always appreciated this since I was 13, playing, youth centers around town or whatever. I love it, and we really do. We've got a really good relationship with quite a few bands from, I would say, primarily because we've played with.
Since we were kids.
Yeah, a lot of musicians we've been playing with, even if not in the same projects that they're in currently. We've been playing with other bands that they've been in for the last 15 years.
So have you guys had the opportunity to play anywhere other than Louisville, like outside?
We have not. We played.
Went to Nashville.
We played Nashville.
Yeah.
In 2011, but really touring has just not been. At this point we're really just hobby musicians. Kind of doing it because we love it and playing around town when we can.
So to go beyond the music a little bit, you did mention your balance in family life. So are you married? Do you have a family?
Yeah, I'm married. Have a 22-month-old little girl.
Wow.
Who totally loves music.
Just one?
Just one.
That's awesome.
That's
Nice.
our first and only so far. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's her instrument of choice?
It's funny. Graham.
The drums always. No.
Totally. Well, that's what's
Yeah.
funny. He's. I don't know many drummers who have like 16 sets like Graham does, but he was like, I'm going to get rid of one of my drum sets. And I was like, I'll buy it. And I relayed it to my wife. I said, this is for Stella. This is her drum set. My wife's like, she's like 10 months old. I was like, it's cool. Don't
You
worry
never
about it.
start to.
She'll grow into it.
But I tell you what,
Yeah.
she loves to bang on them, and I think has some pretty decent rhythm for not even a 2-year-old.
She's a genius. She's a prodigy, right?
She's a prodigy. That's what we're going to go with for now.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. And her name's Stella.
Stella.
How
Stella,
beautiful
yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
So you're balancing family life, and that can be kind of tough too, I'm sure.
Yeah, it definitely. We want to. It's interesting because it's one of those things that you never thought that you would ever feel guilty about doing what you love and playing music. And I'm on the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm taking away time from my family, from my daughter, which I'm at work for 50 hours a week. So to play music just for 2 or 3 hours a week, or 3 times a month, even that small still is like, it's kind of tugging on me.
But it's good to have the support, I guess.
Totally.
That's important, is that someone that understands that that's really that's who you are, essentially, and asking you not to do that would be asking you not to be who you are. So
Precisely.
That's always interesting, and I like to get that out for people. And like I said, 90% of our listening base are musicians. They get it, but there are some people out there that maybe don't. So it's cool to get that out, that it's not just a hobby or just something that you fiddle around with to waste time. It's a huge part of who you are and what makes you you. So if you don't do that anymore, then you're not going to be you, and you're not going to be the good dad that you need to be.
Right.
And it all falls into line. So you guys get together for once a week for practice, or
Usually try
try
to keep
to.
it about that. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
We have had some off time a little bit, especially with the
Yeah.
birth of Stella and
Yeah.
trying to get this last record. I mean, we've never spent more time trying to get a record out. But
that's funny.
We also did it all by ourselves.
We did. We
Yeah.
just home studio is pretty much that's what that's all done on, and we started in January of 14. Stella was born in September of 14, and about August we got all the instruments done. No production instruments, just the 4-core, and then took a 13-month hiatus. And just totally docked the project aside, and we got back together right about October of 15, and we're like, all right, let's finish this record, seriously, in the next 60 days. And we kind of got it out pretty much about that time frame. Yeah.
how cool is that, though, that you have the support of your bandmates, because they knew how important it was for you to spend time with your family then.
It wasn't too hard, was it?
So what we're talking about,
Well, it really shows, though. I mean, the production values on that is really amazing.
We
really great
well,
stuff.
Thank you very much. We definitely labored over it quite a bit.
Yeah. we talked.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, we were talking right before the show. In fact, Colin was saying, we're about to go on the air, guys, but I had to ask, how do you feel about being compared to other bands? Because when I listen to Elements of Existence, I hear Radiohead's OK Computer.
Oh, that is the best compliment you could give me.
I really do. It's got that feel. It's got that concept feel to it, and the ethereal, the keyboards, and that's what blew me away when Charity played "Promise Me Before You Miss It," and when you hit those high notes in the chorus and the string synths, just blast at you. I'm like, wow.
Thank you.
It was
I love the end of
great.
that song.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy without being heavy.
Yeah. Unintentionally
heavy. Yeah.
But and of course the rest of it, hiding in plain sight. It has that feel like OK Computer, because OK Computer had its loud moments with Underground, Homesick Alien, and then it had the light parts in it as well. Just the acoustic guitar and Tom York's amazing voice.
I think this last one we experimented a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
A ton.
The first album I wasn't a part of. I listened for a whole solid year while they were doing the best things that they were doing at the time, and I'm like, oh, just get me in there. I just want to play drums for them. The original bass player for the band, he and I both came through high school together, did fire department together, stuff like that, had a house together.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I come home wearing my blue uniform from the fire department, I hear them in the basement jamming. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I got to buy a drum set again. I went 5 years without having a kit.
Yeah.
So I bought one and started playing with another band that we were all friends with, but slowly figured out that I got into their ears enough that, hey, is the other drummer going to leave? Hey, give me a shot. You won't be disappointed.
Hey,
Hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
to to go on with the main topic of element of existence is the universe makes no mistakes. So it was totally by design that our last drummer exited, and Graham was right there. Hey, I'm interested.
Yeah.
So for sure.
So is there a common theme with the on the album? You guys have a lot of songs on this album too.
Yeah, it was a lengthy album. I'm so glad you asked that. This was our first stab at a concept album.
Yeah.
It actually is 2 parts. The first is material. The second is immaterial. So the first has a little bit more surface level topics. Uproot, which is a song that we'll play tonight. We pretty much open all of our sets with it. It's track 2 on the album, and it's really it's kind of just being sick of what you're physically around, and trying to exit physically. And then there's an instrumental interlude in the song that it's what we call it. I think it had a working title.
Yeah.
The Great Work is what it's now titled. It was called the Transition, but rightfully named because that was kind of the transition from the immaterial, or from the material into the immaterial, to the ethereal realm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How neat.
Spiritual realm.
So on that note, do you guys want to play one for us?
Yeah, absolutely. This one's Hide in Plain Sight. This is on the latter part of the album, so this is definitely a little bit more geared towards the immaterial.
Hide in Plain Sight. Seasons at Sea, here on 100.9 FM, Beyond the Music.
It looks the same in both lights, hide in plain sight. I hesitated out of time, the advantage is mine. Hide in plain sight, advantage is mine. Hide in plain sight. Wash the filth from human hands, shed carbon skin. I milk the worth from human lands, we escalate our sin. Shed your skin, escalate our sin. Shed your skin.
That was Hide in Plain Sight, if you're just tuning in, a WCHQ exclusive with Season at Sea. And we're talking about their brand new album coming out, Elements of Existence. And it's currently out, right? It's not coming out.
Yeah,
Well-
it's on Spotify. Oh,
Yeah,
cat's out of the bag at this point.
It
We're sure.
exists. we haven't had a.
It's an element in
we-
Played a
existence.
CD release
Precisely.
without the CDs.
We booked a show that was supposed to be our CD release. Didn't have the CDs. Didn't really promote it as a CD release because we didn't have the CDs, and really haven't booked a formal CD release show since. But we have been selling
was
it,
a blast.
giving it out.
It was a blast.
That
A
was
lot
a
of
good
people
show.
there.
That was a good show.
It was a good time.
Always a reason for another party. You know, no one really knows, so we need to have another.
Have another.
I think that's the only reason we do this
The
stuff.
Just Because show. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You do
In
that.
case you didn't know. That's a great song. I love the lyrics. I love the title, Hide in Plain Sight. And for anyone who wasn't listening earlier, you guys, basically, you feel like all of this is by design. The how you met, the way that you come together.
We're just the microcosm.
Oh, yeah.
All of this
The
is by
channel.
design. All of it.
Gavin showing up tonight, like everything
Yeah.
just came. No, honestly, on that note, I will say, I don't know if it's okay to talk about Steph, my friend, who introduced me to you guys. We should give her some credit because
The whole reason we're here.
she is the entire reason you guys are here. She sent me a message and was like, you need to check these guys out, and I did. And now everyone at the station loves you guys,
Awesome.
and
That's awesome.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I love finding those bands where you're just like, how did we not? Were they under a rock? Like, where were they?
Well, what's really cool too is it's not just on the live DJ shifts. I mean, Kathy, the station manager, is putting your songs on the daily playlist because I like to tune in and listen as often as I can. And I was driving on the way home, and I forgot which one of your songs, but I knew right off the bat. I'm like, cool. She's put it on the automated playlist, so bravo, because
That's
she
fantastic.
she makes up the playlist. Well, her and Bryce Gill, who's the music manager, and so kudos, guys. I
Thank
mean,
you.
Awesome
you've got.
compliment. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for spinning us, for sure.
Yeah.
And thank you to Stephanie because
Thank you,
that,
Stephanie.
Thank
that
you,
was
Steph.
my point.
Yes.
Awesome.
Stephanie, I've known her since I was in high school, maybe a little bit after high school, and so it's neat. We talk about elements of existence and things that happen by design, and it's so funny. I've been doing this for about a year and a half, and I don't really have to go seek people out. I don't have to seek a lot of musicians out. Like, they just find me, or we run into each other, and it's funny how that happens. But definitely grateful to Stephanie for introducing you guys, and you are welcome on anytime. Anything we can do, to help you guys out.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you all
That's
for
huge.
the tunes. So
I
we're
wanna-
gonna.
I was going to say, I want to point something out. This is awesome. Steve Mandler is playing a first act guitar.
Oh man.
No.
I was
wanna
hoping.
be out.
Did the cable not cover it up?
Yeah, I looked at that. Well, I just wanted. I hope you don't mind me pointing that out.
No, not at all.
Because a lot of people, parents, got their kids at Target or at Walmart.
Walmart,
Can I buy
yeah.
this guitar? And they tend to think, well, it's not a Gibson, it's not a Martin. It doesn't have to be.
This thing, I got this in 2009. The band that I was in was about to tour, and we had several dates not booked that we were like, we'll just find a coffee shop or something, open mic night. Well, I need an acoustic. I mean, we're an electric band. I had a cheaper acoustic with no input. I found this at Music Go Round for $50. And
Yeah.
that was in 2009.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
this is pretty much what I write a lot of music on. I was like,
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I don't want to throw it away. It's a great guitar.
That's my son's favorite hangout, Music Go Round. He's bought
So much
all
gear
kinds
there.
of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
been
all
through
kinds
there
of
quite a
stuff.
bit.
So
for
much
sure.
money spent.
But you don't have to spend $2,500 on a guitar.
Not
It's
at all.
definitely a good place to get your start. I know
Yeah.
for certain as a teenager, definitely coming on Music Around quite a bit,
Absolutely.
trading in one guitar to upgrade to another.
Yeah,
It's a good way to get entry in.
Yep.
yeah. You make
So-
good friends there.
It's a
Yeah, yeah.
commercial for Music Go Round.
There you
so,
go.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Music
I need
Go
to
Round.
Yeah.
Can we do a
contact
jingle?
those guys.
Do a jingle?
Yeah.
Music Go Round. So I wanted to make sure I'm trying to fit as many songs as I can in here, and we have about 25 more minutes left. And just I'm enjoying getting to know you guys too. It's so much fun for us. And like Stephanie was saying, she hasn't really gotten the opportunity to hear you guys in this kind of environment. Of course, I'm sure it's like gigs, and it's neat to have just. It's us. It's a very intimate setting where you can actually.
Yeah, this is definitely I would say, first time type deal of acoustic, mic'd, live.
Yeah, definitely. We actually, Steve and I, we've done one time. I guess it was 12 or
WCHQ,
13. We did the Crusade for Children. We played it. It was like midnight, 11:30 or something.
That was just one song that they were just like, here they are.
Yeah.
Here they go.
Make your donation.
We didn't get the whole generous,
Yeah. No, that was sufficient.
So
that was a really cool opportunity.
How fun is that, though? That's a
very
great
cool.
cause.
Yeah.
Any other? Do you guys do a lot of non-profit, I guess, gigs or?
No, that was just something particular that just comes down the line. I mean,
Yeah.
networking in a band is a spider web of just all kinds of stuff. So. It's just one of those random things, I've played in the mall at St. Matthew's. I've put, those are the type of stuff that comes up out of nowhere. We've played.
You're the one that caused those riots, huh?
I don't want to. Yeah.
What did you do that for?
I don't know. It was not that. I don't know. I wouldn't advise it. No. But, I don't know.
All
shows
the
come
teens
together.
were screaming because Steven was playing at
Shows,
St. Matthew's Mall.
Come together in
Now
all
the
kinds of
truth
different
comes
ways.
out.
Right.
You
That's
were
awesome.
in Tiffany's backup band, right?
Yeah. No, I think it was
exactly.
Tommy Hilfiger. I think is actually
Oh,
who
yeah.
we were. That's what we were out by. I don't know. Yeah.
That's
Right in front
great.
of Brooks Brothers. There.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We were showing off their bow ties. Yeah.
Yes.
So funny. So what are some of your Stephen? Stephen O.
We,
was gonna say.
we'll simplify it. I don't know. Maybe this is not for me to decide. I call him Steve-O.
Steve-O?
A lot of his
Steve-O.
close friends call him Steve-O. I
noticed
guess
that,
it's
yeah.
okay if the radio
Yeah.
world calls him Steve-O too,
Yeah.
right?
I would
we can
love to
handle
call you
that.
Steve-O.
We can
That's
handle
Steve-O.
that.
Thanks,
Steve-O.
Steve-O.
Yeah.
It just rolls.
It rolls.
Okay, so Steve-O.
Yeah.
What were your musical influences like growing up?
Man, I would say probably right off the bat, I remember my dad, I was about the age of 4 years old, and we were sitting in the car. I can't remember the name of the song, but he was just blasting some rock song so loud. I mean, it was hurting my ears. I'm 4. I turned to my dad, and I said, "Turn it down." And he looked me right in my face and screamed, "No." And from that moment, I had a feeling, maybe I would,
Rock and roll.
exactly.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roller was born. Yeah.
You had no choice.
No choice. But I don't know. Grew up, kind of hearing some Tom Petty. I know it was a big thing, and it kind of grew from there. I eventually, I'd say my first musical love was probably right around middle school. Started getting into kind of the grunge, Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins. That was the whole reason I wanted to play guitar. Basically, was to play Nirvana songs. Pretty much, that's the whole thing that started. And I've like I say, it kind of goes into the technical, not trained. I mean, at that age, you're in middle school, you just look on the internet. That's when the internet was kind of just getting going. Tablature had started. It was a way to teach yourself songs without
Olga.net.
not knowing. Yeah, Olga.net. Oh
I
my gosh, you were
directed my
jumping
son
way
there.
back there.
Yeah, I directed my son there.
And
He
that is
picked,
so long ago.
Yeah.
You're just totally rung a bell there. But yeah, that's where you learn tablature, and that's kind of where my guitar style kind of came from. And I guess I always say you're kind of the guitar player that you start as. Like if you start out and you're like, I want to shred Metallica one solo, play Jimmy, you'll kind of you'll gravitate toward lead, I think. And with that, kind of 90s, everything that you think of, alternative rock, grunge rock, a little bit of punk rock, that's the stuff that I grew from. That's what I played. And for the longest time, it took me a long time. I mean, this is the first band I played in 2 guitars with. The prior band, I was the only single guitar player. So it's a lot of bar chording, chords, hooks, things like that. And this, it's like I kind of had to, as much as I did have the grunge and early 90s roots, it's kind of had to, relearn in a way, teach myself, I guess, how I'm playing guitar in a way. It's
Yeah.
been,
So you're growing in this band
yeah,
too.
it's definitely, and I wouldn't I'm not saying sparkling, but I'm just saying it's been.
Yeah.
It's definitely
The diamond in the rough is shining.
It's come a ways, but at the same time, it's it's how you
That's
start.
pretty
though.
cool. Yeah. So you're definitely heavily influenced by rock.
Yeah, I would say for sure. I mean, I like even stuff now. I mean, I love the synth stuff. I love electronic music. Anything that adds that kind of ambiance. I mean, when we are playing live, we're using delays, we're using reverbs, flanger. I mean, I like the atmosphere that you can get out of layered delay and things like that. So this is why this is really bare bones for us to be here plucking acoustic guitars when normally there might be 2-3 forms of delay going on over one lick and
Figuratively speaking, you're naked in the studio with a wooden sword and shield.
pretty much. This is like
Yes.
Figuratively speaking, folks.
I bet that's
All of a
incredible.
sudden,
Yeah.
YouTube Live is getting all these hits.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Naked musicians. That's what I have to say.
Well, and it's a good testament to you guys too, though, because I always say if a song is good, it will pass the acoustic and voice test,
Good call.
and
Yeah.
it really does. Hiding in plain sight sounds beautiful.
Well, what's interesting about that one specifically is that on the record is about this
It is.
dynamic. We
It is.
we rarely play it live, even though we probably should start because we recorded it on acoustics.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably try to translate that more to electric, but so that one translated obviously perfectly.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
Well, on that note, can we get another song out of you guys?
Absolutely. This is the one I referenced earlier, Uproot.
Leave a breath to take, try to plan escape. Does it sound alright if I disappear? Act like I don't exist, just wait for the plot to twist. If I sound off right, I won't reappear. Well, I'm making the move of soul to give it a happy home. Tie up my boots and run. I place my only bet to live life with no regret. When I wanna warm my bones, I move along. Well, I'm moving on. I leave a note to read. I'm planting another seed. Do I sound alright if I disappear? In action to guard exits, just wait for the plot to twist. Does it sound alright if I don't reappear? Well, I'm making the move of soul, gonna give it a better home. Dig up my roots and run. Well, I place my only bet to live life with no regret. When I wanna warm my bones, I move along. Well, I'm moving on. Well, I place my only bet to live life with no regret. When I wanna warm my bones, I move along. Well, I'm moving on. Well, I place my only bet to live life with no regret. When I wanna warm my bones, I move along. Well, I'm moving on. I place my only bet to live life with no regret. When I wanna warm my bones, I move along. Well, I'm moving on. Well, I place my only bet to live life with no regret. When I wanna warm my bones, I'm moving on. Well, I'm moving on. Yeah, 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 yeah. I place my only bet to live life with no regret. When I wanna warm my bones, I move along. Well, I'm moving on.
Very, very nice. Once again, that's Season at Sea, and they are showcasing some songs from their brand new album, Elements of Existence, here exclusively on 100.9 FM. Thanks for hanging out with us. We've got about 10 more minutes, and I also want to remind you guys they are scaling back a little bit. Incredible sound. you guys are still amazing. I can just imagine, we were talking about you guys like to do a lot of overlay and that kind of stuff in your live shows. How amazing the sound is when everything's kind of coming together.
We'll have to have a show sometime
And-
and have you people out.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
We'll book
I think
one.
that's what we're getting here.
So
play every
asking you
3
guys when your
months.
next gig is kind of out of the question.
Nothing planned, but we
Have an active Facebook.
very active, and if we do have something planned, we'll promote pretty heavily.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys just played recently, less than a week ago, and then before that, it was New Vintage,
April.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's back in April. Yeah.
Yeah, about every 3 months.
I'd say prior to that it was January. So yeah, it's about. We don't want to overstimulate.
That's pretty active, though. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to the next show. I know Gavin will be there, right, Gavin?
Yes, I
Awesome.
will.
Definitely
Bet
the
your
word out for
booty
sure.
I'll be there. Yeah.
But
so
we're gonna-
be sure to like their page, guys.
Yeah,
Season
absolutely.
at Sea on
Got
Facebook.
links on there. Yep.
And if they want to, do you guys have any Instagram, anything else, or a website or anything yet?
Honestly, we did the website for a little bit, and then we're like, what? No one's going here. The Facebook is where you're connected.
It's a lot of money for a website, too.
Yeah, and but for now to have our stuff streaming on so many different websites, the company that we went with to actually materialize the CD, we did the additional. Just plastered us all across the internet. It's interesting, to Google Season at Sea, Elements of Existence, and I've never heard of
there's
75% of these websites that pop up. I'm like, oh, my entire album's streaming on that website.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You're like, free promotion. I'll take
There you
it.
go. We'll take
Yeah.
it.
So if you, Facebook is probably the best way if you guys want to stay up to date on Season at Sea when they're playing next or what they have going on. And I really like you have some neat little quotes on your website too, or on your Facebook page. There was one, I think I scrolled past it, but it was pretty deep. I was like, these
But
guys...
I don't know what you're talking about.
These
So,
guys-
so I don't know. What,
These guys get
you gotta-
deep on here. No, a couple are funny, and I like how you just kind of incorporate a little bit of who you are as a band, and your personality kind of comes out too, and
Yeah.
some of the little funny memes that you put on and stuff. So that's always great marketing. It's good to do this kind of stuff where you can get to know the guys beyond the music a little bit, and you have lives and families and things that you balance, all of you guys, and then you also create this amazing music. So. We're going to feature, we've got about 10 more minutes left. I'm going to see if I can get one more live song, and then at the end, we're going to feature your full sound, which we have in our database. What was the name of that? That was The Difference, right?
The Difference,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah, which is very much, we play it live pretty much every show. So if you like
Okay.
it, then
Nice.
visit us at a show.
I like all your stuff, Steve.
Well, thank you.
So one more live song from you guys, and then we'll let people know where they can get in touch with you again, and we'll let you out of here.
Awesome. Yeah.
Promise me, in case you miss it. Promise me, in case you don't hear. Concentrate on my communion of all good souls. Promises will always keep your secrets. Lose hope. Just let go. I promise you, in case you miss it. Well, I promise you, in case you can't hear. Well, if the devil wears your soul when the sun sets on you, well, promises will always tell your secrets. So lose hope. Just let go. Wonder about all the other bodies, and I wonder about all the other souls. Well, will they have the time to make the run for their lives? Will I ever see them again? Just let go. I let go. Just let go. I let go. Just let go. I lose hope.
is the money maker right there. My favorite.
Yes.
I love
It's got
that
the money
song.
notes in it too. That's what we call it.
We like money.
When you hold
I want
that-
more of it.
Hold those notes out for like 8 bars. Yeah, they call those money notes.
Incredible, and your voice. Oh my gosh, it's just
Great,
you hit
great
those
voice.
notes.
Thank you.
Perfect, right on.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for coming on. I don't want to speed it up at all, but we have 4 minutes, or actually 6 minutes left, and I want to make sure I feature your full sound from our database. And if you are just tuning in, I'm sorry that you missed these guys, but we will have the full feature YouTube live stream available for you for at least a couple of days, right, Gavin?
Right, and it will be on. The audio will be up on SoundCloud about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So if you want to hear a replay of the show and you're sitting at your desk, make sure to go on SoundCloud. CH Radio is our handle on SoundCloud, and make sure you can share it to your Facebook page as
Absolutely.
We will.
And we also have SoundCloud available for you as well. So if you weren't able to listen to the entire show tonight and you want to listen as well without the YouTube visual, the SoundCloud will be available on SoundCloud. Also, next week, Gavin, just to give them a heads up, you're going to have Miss Haley Shields on,
Miss
right?
Haley Shields, yes. She is, how old is she now? She's 18, and she is pretty phenomenal. Beautiful voice, acoustic guitar. She, I like to call her an old soul. Sorry, Haley, if you're listening, but she channels Patsy Cline and all those
Oh, wow.
greats. Yeah, she's really
Love
good.
those old,
Very
pretty
talented
voices,
young
yeah.
lady. Yeah.
Well, very nice. So tune in next week with Haley Shields and Gavin Kester, and I may crash his party. Who knows? You never know what's going to happen on these parts. Season at Sea. Check them out on Facebook. Instagram? No?
No,
Not so much. Check them out on Facebook.
Or Google them.
And
'Cause
Google
you can buy
them.
their, you
Yes.
can buy their music in one of 58 different sites.
And now
Pretty
you can
much.
check them out on SoundCloud and YouTube. Thanks to WCHQ. Thanks again, guys, for coming by. You
Our
guys
pleasure.
are such a pleasure
Thank
to
you so
hang
much
out
for
with.
having us.
And it was a great experience. So I want to give you guys a little sample of what Season at Sea sounds like with the full sound. But don't let this stop you from getting out and checking them out. I'm excited to see you guys live. I'm sure it's even better. So best of luck. And again, thank you. So here's Season at Sea from our database. And this is from their Elements of Existence CD 2016. The Difference here on WCHQ.